How's everybody doing today? And thank you for taking time out of your day to listen to me, because I know everybody's time is precious. This is Papa G, and today we're going to keep the community conversation going. The one we're talking about is one I just recently started. It's my Louisiana Public School Reconstruction Act. Now today I'm going to rehash it again, but I'm not going to give examples. I'm going to just give the principles, give the rules, give the facts. So now I'm just going to spell it out once I start talking about it, and I'm not going to deviate from it, because when I first introduced it, I gave examples and I did things like that, but I didn't just spell it out in its entirety. Okay, so now I want to take this opportunity to do that. Now, first of all, before I get started, I have a lot of fun things that when I first got into doing YouTube that I wanted to do. I wanted to do a hip hop character. I wanted to do some fun things, because I like having fun like everybody else. But what makes me different than everybody else is I also, more than fun, more than the hip hop stuff, I have more fun having a good fight. And so that's what's gravitated me to this, why I'm not doing the fun things anymore. If you ask what happened to Hip Hop G, what happened to, the professor doing little known black facts, I want to fight. Ultimately, that's what I want. So, here we go. Louisiana Public School Reconstruction Act. As I started before, a child would select 2 trades in the 8th grade. In the 9th grade, that kid would take those 2 trades. The examples I gave before was, let's say a child decided that they wanted to be an electrician and a plumber. In the 9th grade, they would take electrician and plumbing classes. In the 10th grade, they would take those classes at school, but they would have an off-site area that they go to where they would start to get practical application. Okay. In the 11th grade, they would get classroom and practical experience by being on the work site. But in the 11th grade is where the kid would take the state license examination. Now, as I stated before, this is a program that the state of Louisiana is asking the federal government to do for our public school system. We're asking that the federal government federally fund trades for the public school system of the state of Louisiana for a period of 10 years. Okay? And what we're offering in return is, in that 10-year period, we're going to reverse the roles of food stamps and welfare to the 55 and up community, because Louisiana is a state full of hustlers. That is the nature of the beast that beat here. We are very creative people. So if you unleashed how to repair washers, dryers, refrigerators, stoves, microwaves, DVD players, everything, teach them how to lay fiber optic line, teach them how to be tugboat captains, how to build levees and dams and canals, and everything, lay new rail for high-speed rail. We can do this through the public school system. And the federal government will pay for the kid to take the state license examination, as well as lease the land where the off-site study will be. The federal government will maintain regulation and rule over the program for this 10-year period, because the state of Louisiana, just as recent as Katrina, showed you that it is not going to be responsible if you just give it money. Okay, so we're not asking you to just give the state money like you've done before and ignore the racism that's here and act like states' rights when you know states' rights means that they want you to turn their back while they lynch us from a tree. And they don't want the federal government to be big enough to stand up to it. We don't want any of those dog whistles, okay? What we want is action. We want the federal government to pay for this. So they have the beauty colleges in the high schools, the everything, medical stuff, electrical, computer, everything that's open in these new fields, robotics, because they're coming. And so our young people need to get a start at this, because we can't go from being a superpower with a middle class to a superpower that, you're either dirt poor or, you well off. Because the only thing going to happen is the children going to continue to suffer. So what we're going to do is that first class that graduate, okay, what we're going to do is, in order to get the federal government to do this, I propose that, like, let's say we started this now. The third grade class of this year, 2023, will be the one that will be saying, when we get to the 9th grade, the 8th grade, these things had better be in place. That gives enough time for us to get this petition together, to get the state of Louisiana mothers and fathers to come together under one umbrella and speak on one accord and say, yes, we want trades paid for by the federal government put in all of the public schools of Louisiana. And we want licensure, okay? Accredited licensure. I'm not asking for state accredited licensure. I'm asking for federal accredited licensure, because what we're asking is every state from the Mason-Dixon line below to honor Louisiana's young people as they're graduating high school with their trades. We're asking that our trades, our young people that graduate licensed mechanics, if they go to Mississippi, that license is accepted. If they go to Texas, that license is accepted and respected, okay? And these young people will not sign up for food stamps and welfare, because they will have graduated with something to help them to truly experience the American dream and not have to beg at corporate America's feet, okay? Because the world has grown to a point to where the people that are coming here illegally and the people that are landing on our shores for the first times are the ones that should be stuck with getting entry-level work in corporate America and be stuck at working at fast food restaurants and stuff like that. They should not be afforded the American dream. They should be afforded the American sacrifice first. And so that's why I'm trying to get Americans to pay attention that, hey, all of us have children in public school or have had children in public school. And if that diploma could have been worth more than just saying you finished, imagine what life could have been if you could have graduated school as a barber or a beautician or electrician or a welder or a plumber, a roofer, bricklayer, but whatever it is, anything under the sun, okay? So please, this is very important. Very, very important. Now, once the kid gets to the 11th and 12th grade, of course, they're going to take the examination. But then when the kid gets to if the kid fails in the 12th grade, they have 1 year after they graduate high school where they can still come back anytime during that 1 year and take that test one more time free of charge, okay, to pass it and get their license. Because the goal is to have a strong, knowledgeable, independent workforce. Okay, because if you have a young man that graduates school knowing how to repair washers and dryers, lawnmowers and refrigerators, he don't have to go and beg nobody for a job, and you ain't got to worry about him knocking nobody in the head. But here's the thing. This also keeps them from making bad choices about going to sell drugs or go run up in that store or go take something from somebody, because they have pride and dignity because they can say, I am a such and such. And this is the power that we want to instill in our school system so that we can turn out young people who, we don't have to be afraid of. Now, for young people who mother come from a single parent household and the mother is a government recipient and no other visible means of support, I'm asking the federal government to make efficiency starter apartments, zero tolerance policy for these young people once they graduate high school and they've graduated and they got their license, to be able to move away from the family home, okay, like they're supposed to in the natural order of things, and move into these little efficiency apartments, okay, where they will have job fairs, where they'll get skills training on how to interview and do things like that. They'll learn to live in the community independently, okay, have their own place for the first time. And really, let's be more into helping people understand about getting independence and making that step into adulthood much gentler, much easier than what it has been, okay? So they would get a little efficiency apartment where it would be, a kitchen with the living room connected, and then a little bedroom and bathroom, nothing major, okay? But it's a place that they can say, I have moved out of my mama's house and I'm into my own place. You see what I'm saying? And, we're going to get them a job, all right? We didn't graduate them with no license and all that to just leave them cold, all right? This is just a temporary stepping tool, but this also goes a long way in helping us to make sure that these young men that we want to accept responsibility now fully for the children that they make have the ability to do it, all right? We have to fix our education system. Now, of course, any trade instructor out there who has the correct credentials will be hired by the federal government to work in the school system and to graduate these knowledgeable people to understand what the guidelines are, what the requirements are, what knowledge they must independently demonstrate to obtain the degree of knowledge that the expertise and the degree that they're trying to get so that they can be functioning in society. It's not a hard thing to do, okay? So with the supportive housing and the consistent effort with the federal government, I believe that we would look at those young people after that 10-year period, and what we will see is that a new, more vibrant community has arisen from our efforts, and we're living in a much more peaceful society. If we put this focus into education here in Louisiana and put these trades in the school, the racism that has permeated and made this state fail to thrive will really take a strong licking. And if we can put the kind of emphasis that we need to in education in our young people for these trades or whatever, they could possibly be the move that we need to keep this state from going underwater in the future with climate change. So this has just been another broadcast on the Louisiana Public School Reconstruction Act. I don't have the answers to all of the questions, and this is not a perfect solution, But I do know that if we can graduate people with the ability to say, I am a this, I am a that, and then go and be able to apply themselves in a manner of an expert in that field, okay, as a knowledgeable person, I don't see where we lose when public school is already paid for. So I don't see where we lose. So please, let's get this petition going, okay? And let's like, share, subscribe. My Cash App is $Gil Muse. Please support me as I'm trying to get this fight started. The most important thing you can do to support me is to share this video, is to help me get a petition going, is to contact me. If you somebody who know how to organize, and if you somebody who know how to get the people together and help me get my message out, let's refine it if it needs more refining. And then let's get into this fight and fight the good fight. And let's leave our children a better world than what was handed to us. So until next time, it's been Papa G saying I love you and I love everybody. Peace.